Good morning and welcome to the Science Magazine program. Listen to an interview on the topic Conceptualizing Science Policies for Innovation and Growth. The expert in studio is Dr. Manoj Kumar Patairiya, former advisor from Ministry of Science and Technology and former director CSIR. Interviewer is Kaushik Roy.
In the studios today, we have with us Dr. Manoj Kumar Patairiya, Adjunct Professor, National Institute of Advanced Studies and former director CSIR and former advisor at the Department of Science and Technology, and he is also a very senior science commentator. Dr. Patairiya, thank you for joining us in the studios today and welcome to Akashvani. Our topic is conceptualizing science policies for innovation and growth. So, how do you see this, that the scientific policies have been laid out? The government has also called for more R&D facilities everywhere, and today also where we look at innovation, India is one of in the top 40 bracket countries. So, how do you view this, sir?
Science policy, in fact, is a process of devising ways and means to funding research, providing scholarships, fellowships, and managing science, regulating various R&D programs and projects, planning, and all these things combining together for the national strength as well as societal good that makes a science policy more robust and applicable and useful. India, for instance, in its constitution itself, has one of the fundamental duties that has been the guiding principle for us from very beginning. And I think India is the only country so far that has this kind of provision. It says that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to have a scientific temper, the spirit of inquiry, reform, and passion for various creatures, including rivers, mountains, wildlife, all these things. So I think this is one of the fundamental duties, because we are all aware of fundamental rights, but there are always fundamental duties. So being an Indian citizen, everybody has a duty to have a scientific temper in himself or herself, as well as inculcate that spirit amongst ourselves, all the fellow citizens. So that is the guiding principle from the Indian Constitution. That was brought in by an amendment. At the same time, in 1958, the first science policy of India was implemented, formulated. It is called Science Policy Resolution of 1958. And that emphasizes on promoting fundamental research. It also emphasizes on developing infrastructure and self-reliance. So with these three objectives, that first science policy started in India. And whatever we have been able to build, including various institutions like CSIR. CSIR has something like 37 laboratories all around the country. So all the laboratories, they came under one umbrella, like National Physical Laboratory, National Chemical Laboratory, and wherever you go, botanical research, medicinal research, integrative medicine research, engineering research, environmental engineering. So all subjects they brought under one umbrella, that is called CSIR. So CSIR is one aspect of that policy. Other is the ICAR and ICMR. So this is all the infrastructure that we have been able to create and started world-class research and development in the area of science and technology. So we can say that was the beginning of science policy formulation in India.
And now it is also, since we are into the 78th year of our independence, that India has come a long way forward. Today, if we look at where we are, what we call the cutting edge technology, we are a big power in space. We are a big name in pharmaceuticals. We are known as the pharmacy of the world. So these policies have helped the country stand tall among the community of nations. Sir, can you also tell us about the societal benefits and socially relevant knowledge for solving social problems?
I think that is a very important point that you have mentioned, like technology for the growth and development and solving societal problems. Before moving further, I would like to mention that subsequent to the science policy resolution, then came in 1983 the technology policy statement. It is called technology policy statement. It emphasized from moving from fundamental science to applied science and technology. Right. So giving more emphasis for technology appropriation, technology indigenization, technology development, indigenous technology development, and more importantly, funding risk kind of technology development, risk funding. It is called venture capital. So for that purpose, one technology development board was created at that point of time. So this was a kind of base work that has been created for development of technological growth. And we are seeing the results, as you have mentioned, in biotechnology and pharma and space and nuclear and all these things. They are just coming forward along with the technology policy statement. So I think that is very important. And as far as you have said, the societal problem solving approach, I would say that everywhere in India, there are people with creative minds. There are people who may not have a scientific or technological training, but they have a scientific and technological aptitude.
Absolutely.
So an uneducated person can have technological and scientific aptitude, whereas an educated may be missing that kind of aptitude and attribute. So they are very fine observers. I would like to give an example. In DD Kisan channel, when we were formulating some programs at that point of time, so we have invited a farmer from Rajasthan, and he just, because of his minute observation, he was able to watch that this termite is attracted by the eucalyptus twigs. So what he did, because termite treatment is very difficult, especially in the fields and farmlands, you have to pour various chemicals and they have their consequential effects. So just to overcome that, he has used this bio kind of solution for termite removal from the farmland. So he put various twigs here and there in the farm, and overnight all the termite was attracted to these twigs. He removed the twigs and burned that outside. So this is how he was able to find an organic solution for termite problem. So similarly, there is one honeybee network that is created by one Professor Gupta from IIM Ahmedabad. Honeybee network, what it does, it collects the information of these grassroots innovators and helps them to take patent, helps them to commercialize. So this is the way how this local wisdom and local traditional knowledge, local solutions, they are coming to the fore. And what I emphasize, generally, if you have heard or if you have read, you must have read that there was a program called From Lab to Land, and that was able to create this green revolution and all these food grains and white revolution and yellow revolution from lab to land. Now subsequently we try to emphasize on land to lab. So that is also important. Whatever is happening in the land, these solutions are coming up. If they are very crude, they may not be sustainable, they may not be having their scientific data. So just for scientific validation, for refinement, if they are able to reach to the laboratories and the top class scientists, then I think they can be refined and further taken to the land. So this is a kind of cycle that is now happening.
You have mentioned very two important things, sir. One is how the grassroots, the farmer is taking, popularizing rather his own method, and it is getting a lot of traction. And also how it is important to take the solutions of the land to the laboratories so that they can have maybe a standard pattern, standardization, and it can be implemented at other places also. So in 2020, India brought in the new education policy, and that also emphasizes on science and technology. It is well established that India is a big science and technology power. So what do you think would be the new education policy's emphasis in this? And secondly, consequential to that, what are the challenges with the emerging technologies?
Parallel to NEP, National Education Policy or New Education Policy, there is yet another science, technology and innovation policy. But it is in the form of a draft. Still it is on the website in 2020 itself and open for public consultation. Although consultation were made with various stakeholders, including scientists, public, farmers, artisans, all stakeholders, all inclusivity that was formulated. So this science policy, new science policy, it emphasizes mainly on inclusiveness, equity, gender parity, as well as the education system that can be helpful for scientific research. Because earlier there used to be, if you look at them from the Western countries, they have very strong academic academia kind of relation. But that we have been lacking. So I think that industry, academia and science and government, this triple helix, government, academia and industry, if they come together, I think we can really change the scenario that is now happening. And you have rightly said that we are just seeing the results that they are coming in. So I think this combination of new education policy, where we have more flexibility for choosing the subjects, where you can take science and you can take sociology also. Right. Earlier it was not possible. Yes. So now if you are having 1 year, you will get certificate. If you are having 2 years, you will get diploma. If you are having 3 years, you will get degree. 4 years, you will get honors degree. And you can do research after that. Without entering into PG, you can do direct research. So these are the things how this science, research and education policy, they are combining together, and both of them synchronize in a way so that they can promote research and development in the country and make a kind of science and technology research and development ecosystem in a very robust manner.
Here I also like to mention that in the budget for the year 2025-26, total sum of 1 lakh crore itself has been kept for research and development. If anyone wants to do that, the money is being provided by government. Earlier, you mentioned, sir, that, in earlier days, there used to be a venture capital key. If supposing something happens or the project fails, you don't have to worry, the government is backing. But now the amount has gone up to 1 lakh crore rupees. So how do you view the challenges with that, concomitant to the emerging technologies? Because technologies, every day new something is coming. We see every day that there are pitfalls also. So how do you view the challenges to emerging technologies, sir?
I would say a couple of things. One of them is, let me say, because of budget part first. ANRF has been formulated, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. And this budget has been allocated to ANRF for various projects and activities, R&D, promoting R&D in the country. Apart from that, there are other funding programs also available. But in the policy that came in 2003, Science and Technology Policy 2003, and further Science, Technology, Innovation Policy that came in 2013. Then this Science Policy draft of 2020. So the emphasis in this intermediate policies, the emphasis was given that our budget should be 2% of GDP. Earlier it used to be something like 8% or 9%. But as a matter of fact, the amount is increasing, but the percentage of GDP is decreasing. Now it is something like 6.6%. Earlier it used to be 8.8 plus 0.8. It never had been to 1%. So there was a provision, there was a policy framework to emphasize, to double the budget or triple the budget to make it 2%. And as a matter of fact, there are echoes from various sections of scientists and administrators that if India wants to become Viksit Desh by 2047 or earlier, we have to make at least 2% budget for science and technology of our GDP. This 1 lakh crore is okay, but amount is increasing. But as far as the percentage of GDP is concerned, that is decreasing. So I think we need to, because more researchers are coming in, more projects are coming in. Similarly, proportionately, budget has to be increased. And Jayant Narlikar, recently he passed away. At one point of time, he said that it is not only money. Money can do many things. It is not only money that can promote good research. We require people. We require bright minds. We require good researchers, good science, good policies, good projects. So I think for that purpose, we require this brightness of mind to promote research and development. Money could be a supporting factor.
Right, sir. How do you look at the role of electronic media in developing scientific temper and understanding?
This is the electronic media we are discussing. This is the radio, similarly television, and now more emphasis could be on social media. Social media is far-reaching. I was just trying to find out the reach of social media, especially for science and technology, is something like 36%, whereas the reach of print media is only 3%. So I think this electronic media, including radio and television, is something like 5.8%. So social media has wider reach beyond the boundaries and beyond the languages, because you have visuals, you have video, even in machine translation. At least it gives some kind of grasp and understanding. It is very effective. So now even I would say more is required to include AI, machine learning, virtual reality, augmented virtual reality for augmenting our science communication, technology communication programs more effective, which are suited for the Gen Z or new generation, because they are attracted only for this media mainly. They are not for this traditional kind of reading or just grasping. So I think thereby we can make best use of this electronic media and digital media and social media for science communication.
Thank you, sir, for joining us in the studios today and sparing your thoughts on conceptualizing science policies for innovation and growth. Dr. Manoj Kumar Patairiya, thank you once again for joining us. He is the senior science commentator and adjunct professor of National Institute of Advanced Studies and formerly the director of CSIR and advisor DST. Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you very much.
You are listening to an interview on the topic Conceptualizing Science Policies for Innovation and Growth. The expert in studio was Dr. Manoj Kumar Patairiya, former advisor from Ministry of Science and Technology and former director CSIR. Interviewer was Kaushik Roy. Narrated by Kamal Kishore Badaik and produced by Dilip Jha. This broadcast came to you from Indraprasth channel of Akashvani Delhi.